Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Great, thank you.
Hello, Dr. Shea.
Hey,
Good afternoon.
hi, Becky.
Hey,
Who else is here?
I think we got all the speakers.
All right. Yep.
All right, let's get started. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our second ASME E-Conference at CBU. We're excited to welcome you all. ASME is a great organization for mechanical engineers around the world with all its engineering programs and activities. Unfortunately, COVID-19 affected our in-person ASME meeting, so we started these virtual events last year and have been getting good feedback about last year's conference. We're glad to share with you that this is my last semester as a president for ASME at CBU for the year of 2020-2021, and we're in the process for our new elections for next year. The American Society of Mechanical Engineers is a great organization to join. We're excited about where ASME is going, and we hope that everyone use this opportunity to embrace positive changes and develop their communication skills as we move this organization at CBU down the path to create a brighter future for engineering students at CBU. And this conference, we're more than welcome to welcome all the CBU graduates who entered CBU to learn and left CBU to serve. Now they are back again to support our engineering students in their academic and professional career. Thank you all for your participation today. And we hope that this conference goes as professional, as effective as possible. All right, so what is ASME? ASME is a not-for-profit membership organization that enables collaboration, knowledge sharing, career enrichment, and skills development across all the engineering disciplines, toward the goal of helping the global engineering community develop solutions to benefit lives and livelihood. It's an organization that is here to help you advance in engineering. It's as simple as possible. So why ASME? It enables collaboration, knowledge sharing, career enrichment, skills development across all engineering disciplines. And also, you'll become a part of more than 100,000 community of engineers, academics, researchers, and others interested in mechanical engineering. Benefit from a robust career center for those looking for a new career opportunity. So how to become a member? Step 1, you go to ASME official website, asme.org/membership. You click join now. And then step 3, you click on add information. You add all the information, your name, your school, graduation, expectation date, and your address, contact info. And then you click checkout. Freshmen can register for free, but sophomore, you'll have to pay like $25, I think. Freshmen, sophomore, juniors, and seniors. Every year, ASME award, the student section of ASME gives the Purple Shaft Award to one of professors or faculty member or staff in recognition for outstanding efforts in educating the mechanical engineering students at Christian Brothers University. And this year, join me guys in congratulating Dr. June for his exceptional service to the engineering students at Christian Brothers University. Dr. June is with us. You have anything to say to our engineering students for our participants?
I just want to thank you all very, very, very much. And it's quite an honor. Just thank you.
Thanks, Dr. June. Thank you so much. You'll receive your award next week.
Great. Look forward to it.
All right, so in this part of this conference, each speaker will introduce themselves and we will start by asking them questions related to their academic and professional career to learn from their engineering experience. And at the end of each conversation, anyone is more than welcome to ask our speaker any question they want. Becky, how are you today?
Hey, I am doing great today.
Tell us more about yourself.
Yeah, so I did a lot of cool things while I was in school at CBU. Was involved in a lot of different programs. And I've been working for the past 5 years at Epic in the technical services department. And although it's not directly mechanical engineering related, I use things that I learned about in college all the time, especially logic and problem solving skills. Definitely appreciate all of the wonderful professors and students that I got to learn with at CBU.
Yeah, nice. So tell us more about your experience at CBU.
Yeah, so I tried my best to try a little bit of everything. I think I ended up joining as many clubs as I could find time for, and working on as many projects and things that I could across the department. My senior project was the Moon Boogie program, and I got to hang out with Dr. Shea all the time. I interned in the career services department with Kathy some, so that was a great experience too.
Nice. So tell me which professional journals or organization you think, in your opinion, would be most helpful in evaluating the engineering field for our students to join.
That's a tough question. I don't know if I can pick one professional organization. I think that all of them offer different opportunities and are all great resources to have. And I think that the connections that you make through different organizations really help. Although I will, give a high five to ASME for hosting us all here today.
Yeah, I'm gonna open the questions to anyone to ask you, Becky, any questions they got. Feel free, guys, to ask Becky any questions.
Becky, I think you should tell everyone how cool Epic is, all the stuff they have there.
Sure. So if folks haven't heard much about Epic, we make healthcare software. So we're an electronic medical record company, and I work primarily as tech support for 3 organizations supporting their inpatient physicians and infection preventionists. Our campus is gorgeous, and each of our buildings has a different theme, so it's always fun to walk around and you never know what you're going to see. We also offer a ton of really cool benefits. Our health insurance is out of this world, and we have a sabbatical program. So once you've worked there for 5 years, you get a month paid off to do whatever you want to do. And if you use that time to travel to a country you've never been to, then they'll actually fund a per diem and help pay for some of those expenses for you to kind of learn and discover there. So I hit my 5-year anniversary in about a month and wish that the pandemic was more finalized so I could start more closely planning that travel.
Nice. Looks like you're having fun at Epic, Becky.
Definitely.
Is there any internship or externship opportunities for the engineering students at CBU that you want to share?
So we do have some internships opportunities typically over the summer. They're mostly in the software development field. So any folks that are especially looking at that as a career path. And then generally speaking, I definitely recommend checking us out when you're kind of looking at what you want to do after graduation. I wasn't sure what I wanted to. I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up, but I think Epic is a great place to kind of explore and learn more about myself and about what my future might hold.
Cool, nice.
I see somebody asked in the chat what classes were most essential for my current job.
Yeah.
I think really the things that I use day to day are just the general logic and problem solving. Thermodynamics is one of my favorite classes at CBU, and I don't use any of the thermodynamic principles in my work these days. But one of the things I really took away from that class was, starting with a set of knowledge of equations of information that I have, and then parsing through that and manipulating that to find the answer. And I think that's a lot of what I do in my day-to-day role is looking at all of the information that I have and trying to get down to the answer.
Cool, nice. Is there any other questions to Becky?
Sure. One of the things that I was just going to ask out of curiosity. Oh, go ahead. You first.
I was just gonna ask, what's your least favorite thing about the stuff you do?
Sometimes it's stressful, or maybe a lot of pressure. I think I'm the main point of contact for these applications for a number of healthcare organizations, and so part of that is making sure that they have what they need. Part of that is managing escalations when they come up, and managing escalations is easy when there's just one escalation at a time, but with healthcare, it's always a dynamic field, and problems that folks run into are usually pretty big deals and need to be handled quickly.
Caleb, you got a question?
I was going to ask, what were the areas, or what was the main area that you found that you needed to grow in the most as soon as you graduated college?
I think one of the things that I was especially bad at in college, and I hope that none of the professors on the line get mad at me for this, I definitely procrastinated a lot, and that's something that I've had to grow past. I think that I was able to still manage the work and get everything done that I needed to, but I definitely wish I had put in place better like task management and procrastination stopping skills.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thanks, Becky. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank y'all.
Luis. I'm gonna say that again, Luis. Happy birthday in front of everyone.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Yes, I'm really old now, everyone. I'm 23. Please have mercy.
Luis, tell us more about yourself and about your experience at CBU and then getting an internship at Smith & Nephew.
Alrighty. I'm just gonna turn my video on. Let me see if that's how it works. Yes. Great. Okay. So I'm Luis. I went to CBU and graduated last year. I played soccer there. I, of course, graduated from mechanical engineering, and I was involved with a lot of organizations like the campus ministry. I was an RA as well on campus, and let's see, at CBU. And I got first. I'm now a quality engineer at Smith & Nephew, but I was an intern. I was a project engineer intern for a semester, my last semester at CBU, and then after that, I was able to get the job as a quality engineer at Smith & Nephew.
So, Luis, you finished your internship in August, and then you got your full-time job as a quality engineer. How was this transition from being an intern in the same company and getting a full-time job?
So thankfully, I had the internship. I knew one of the people that worked on my team, my current team. One of the project managers, she went to CBU, Natalia. Some of you might know her. So thankfully, with that internship, I was already in the team that I still currently work. And one of the guys from our team, he was a quality engineer too, so a little bit more advanced than me. He was leaving the team, not the company, but the team. So I had to. That was the only spot open, and I applied for it. And even my boss put at first, okay, let me see if you meet the expectations as a quality engineer too. And of course, I didn't meet them at that time. But so he had to change the position for a Kiwi 1, and then but since the work was already applied to the Kiwi 2, I was really busy, as even like you mentioned before. just really stressful. That's one of the toughest parts of the job, and it being new. And but the main thing for me to be able to get that job, especially with the COVID times, was just to show to the group I wasn't directly working for my boss as I am now, but he knew just my work ethic from other people, my ability to quickly learn and adapt to the situation. So whenever I had something new, I knew who to go to. I was able to fix issues real quickly. So that was I think, work ethic and the dedication. If you show that to one of the managers, that's the best thing you can do as a young engineer.
Nice. Thanks, Luis. Does anyone have any questions to Luis or Becky? Feel free, guys, to ask questions now.
And I can go through more like details if you guys want from the questions, just about quality engineering more in depth, but feel free to ask any questions.
Luis, it's been a while, but I'm glad that I can see your face and hear your voice. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing, Caleb?
I'm good. So you mentioned that you played soccer and you were able to accomplish your goal of being an ME. What kind of time management skills did it take to be able to do that?
Yeah, you can like procrastinate as much as you want, but one time you got to do the stuff. So the best thing is just to, before you do everything else, just try to plan, just play an Excel spreadsheet, but any type of notes, just plan your time. I would, a lot of the times I would be doing some, like for my senior projects, for example, I was doing the CAD design on Creo, and I was in the hotel and I had a game the next day, but I would just stay a little bit longer, like not until 2 a.m., but maybe like instead of going to bed at 10, I'll go to almost midnight, just doing the stuff, doing my homework, doing my project. So you just have to figure out a way. I wouldn't do well on the bus, like I would just be sleeping on the bus. Some people read on the bus. I just couldn't do it. So I just, okay, I'm going to take a nap on the bus and go meet one of the other guys that also study later on at night and just do the homework. And yeah, just got to figure out how to do it.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yep.
Any other questions to Luis or Becky?
There's one in the chat. Let me
Yeah.
see the chat. When do you recommend applying to be an intern for a company as soon as possible? Okay. So just saying the same thing is as soon as possible. Yes, as a freshman, I guess you can apply, but after you become a sophomore, so sophomore to junior year, you already have some knowledge, like you've already taken solids modeling, some of classes that, like, I really have solids modeling applied in my job right now. I'd say solids modeling, intermediate manufacturing, both I took with Dr. Shea. The lab reports also have a huge impact, as you have to know how to properly write the technical details of a project that you're dealing with. So that helped me a lot, just knowing what to mention, what not to mention, how to write a report. So that's what I did. I had an internship from my sophomore to my junior year. At that time, I think you have a little bit of experience, not much as a junior or senior, but I think you already have good chances. Again, if you show, like on the interview, we show that you can do those things. Just be that your work ethic, dedication, just showing that to whoever you're being interviewed and the company you're applying to. So hopefully that answered the question. And there's another one. Let me see. And I can answer too, Becky, if you read the second question. I don't know. Let's see. Well, yeah, I'm trying to even mention the stuff like what the employers are going to be looking for on young people. I mean, another thing I can say as well as being a manufacturing company, I'm not a manufacturing engineer, I'm a quality, but going to the shop floor, meeting the manufacturing engineers, and just knowing the machinists, that's one of the best ways to know. If you meet even the inspectors, different machines like CMM, which is coordinate measurement machine. I know how to run a CMM. I don't know how to program a CMM. But if the little details, me already knowing how to inspect parts in the CMM already plays a big role. So any opportunity that you have in the workplace, like I know people in different buildings, people who, like as I said, inspectors or managers, manufacturing engineers, just get help and just be authentic, just be open. Hey, I don't know this. Could you teach me? Could you show me how this works? Why do you make this thread on this screw like this? Why is this in a certain angle? So curiosity and just trying to learn as fast as you can. Of course, it had to be a quality learning, but the quick learning also gives you other opportunities in jobs as well.
Right. Any other questions? Cool. Thanks, Luis.
Thank you.
Marcus. Hello.
Hello.
How are you today?
Good. How's everyone?
Good, good. So tell us more about yourself, Marcus.
Yeah, certainly. So I graduated CBU 2011, giving away my age. Yeah, going back to, kind of echo kind of some of the thoughts that Becky said. I think some of the biggest takeaways for me in my career have just been, engineering gives you kind of the foundation and the mindset of problem solving, right? And ultimately, really any path you go in business, ultimately that's going to be a huge asset to carry with you. So I've kind of had a unique career. Left CBU as a mechanical engineer, did design, manufacturing, engineering, and fabrication industry. So very technical, right out of school. Actually obtained an internship with that company in junior year. So, my experience was very busy taking on an internship, which at that time they were so busy. I was working like 38 plus hours a week as an intern. So it was great. And then was able to finish and transition full time, working for that company. And my career's kind of been, I'll say my interest has been in continuing to learn more about business as a whole. And engineering has just kind of given me a very strong foundation to explore that. My advice to anybody getting out of school is, be curious and willing to take risk. There have been opportunities that have been presented to me where maybe at the time it wasn't a perfect fit, or, I had doubt about myself or my abilities, but, put yourself in tough situations, try to challenge yourself, and, opportunities will open up for sure. At the end of the day, it's going to be about hard work, but, I think especially as you, start beginning to enter into the workforce, networking is key. So obviously the organizations within the school, but, even beyond that, just networking as much as you can. So now I run sales and marketing business development for a company here in Memphis, AmFast International. We consider ourselves a bit of a virtual factory. We do metal and plastic manufacturing. So we have factories in China and Taiwan, and we have a machine shop here in Memphis as well. So we service OEMs, work with customers all day long, and from the very early stages of their design cycle all the way through manufacturing and supplying them components. And so our business is actually virtual. We've all been working from home since day one, many, many years ago. So that's good. So, as we've run into some of the challenges this year with COVID, we've been pretty flexible, able to adapt really well. So yeah, that's kind of a quick overview. Any questions?
Tell us more about working from home. Do you really think you're productive at home, or you think that if you go in office, you feel like more productive?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I definitely think it's a unique case for each individual. Personally, I found myself being extremely productive. And again, I'm very self-motivated. I have a very rigid schedule. I think that's super important. If you're working from home, you have to be able to set yourself a schedule and have a routine and still be able to maintain that, because, you get so used to kind of that routine of going through the motions. And then a lot of folks talk about distractions, but, you notice I'm not working from my couch. You have to have an area that is like the work area, right? So I love it. I really enjoy it. I definitely miss going in. I haven't met with the customer in over a year. because most of my customers, their factories aren't accepting visitors, kind of thing. So that makes it challenging because the lack of connection and interaction is definitely a downturn. But I love working from home. Yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I've been in factories, I've been in office buildings. I definitely miss the interaction with people. It gets lonely at times. My dogs are laying on the floor now, and I might talk to them too much during the day. But yeah, it's great. I enjoy it.
Cool. I got one more question for you, but I'm gonna open questions to everyone before. Does anyone have any questions to Marcus? So I'm gonna go ahead and ask you my question. You graduated in 2011, right?
hmm
Okay, and then you went for a graduate school in 2013.
Right.
Okay, so you had this gap, 2 years. Why you didn't decide to just go right after you graduate from CBU with your undergraduate bachelor to get your MBA? What was the
For
2
sure.
years for?
Yeah, that's a good question. Actually, when I graduated with undergrad, I had no interest in obtaining any degree after that. I knew that my engineering degree was a foundation. I didn't go towards like the PE path because, again, I'm more focused on the business side, just with that technical background. So, for me, it was, yeah, I'm trying to explain to you. Um, Ask your question one more time.
So why is it
Why
important?
didn't I? Yeah, why didn't I go immediately? Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I think the biggest thing was just I didn't have an interest, and so I entered the workforce. Obviously got in a very professional atmosphere, and I recognized then that having an MBA would be something that could obviously be an enhancer beyond that. Um, so again, I think it's different for everybody. My MBA class had folks that had been in there, working for 20 years, and they decided to go back and get their MBA. So that was my reasoning.
Yeah,
I wanted to get a little bit of professional experience before taking that
right.
next step.
I've met an engineer in GM, and he told me that not having a master's degree prevented him from applying to a higher position.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Especially at General Motors, I'm sure.
yeah. And also for my case, I wanted to get some professional experience, as you said, 2 years, 3 years, and then go for an MBA or engineering management. Have you had
Right.
this two choices, engineering management or MBA? You wanted to go for the business side more, but you're still working in the manufacturing field, right?
Yep, that's right.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so with I think the other thing there's value in that, at least from my perspective, is if you finish your undergrad and you go work for a few years, you're going to learn things that you didn't know before. You're going to learn things that maybe you enjoy this more than you thought that you did, right? So I think it can help redefine your path a little bit better, whether than rather than just going directly from undergrad to grad school. I feel like it's the professors might hate me for this, but I feel like it's too much school. I feel like you have to get out there in the real world, get some experience, figure out what you want to do. And then for me, it was, do I want an MBA or do I want a master's in engineering? And an MBA just made more sense for me. So yeah, it's kind of my feedback.
Makes sense. Cool. Does anyone has any questions to Marcus?
Oh, I see here. I think, what countries have I traveled? Is that to me from Josh Lopez? I think so. Yeah, so I've been really fortunate. I've been able to travel a lot. I lived in Japan for a while when I worked for Mitsubishi Electric, which was a great experience. Been to China and Taiwan a bunch, not recently, of course, and Central America and Europe a little bit as well. So yeah, it's been a fun ride so far.
Marcus, tell us what's a typical day looks like for you at the office.
Yeah, for sure. And obviously I run sales and marketing, business development now, but my job is still very technical. I mean, I've got some parts right here in front of me. So this is a rubber molded component that we do for a customer. So a lot of what my day is, customer will get in touch with me and they've got a part they need manufactured. So it's that initial conversation engagement about what their criteria is, what their specs, their volumes, all that stuff, right, that you guys are learning, especially in the intermediate manufacturing class. My job is basically that intermediate manufacturing class on steroids all the time is what it is, folks are coming to us and want to get some parts made. So I manage a lot of timelines, and then we have a team of engineers that we work with. So I basically am in the gap between the customer and our engineers. So we'll get everything together, set the project up, and then, we'll kick it off from there. A lot of phone calls. Used to be a lot of meetings and a lot of travel. That hasn't been the case. It's been a lot of Zoom meetings recently.
Nice. What do you want to say about the EIT certification that you got? I don't know exactly about that.
Yeah, it was, I wasn't going to finish my undergrad in engineering and not take the test. So that was kind of my perspective. It's like anything else, you got to prepare for it. But I didn't find it too terribly difficult. If you've been a decent student and have an okay memory, you should be fine. But, definitely study for it. But it's the propellant if you want to be a PE, right, and take that next step. So I took that test because I wasn't sure at the time, and so I wanted to make sure I had it just in case.
Got it. Cool. Thanks.
May I ask a question? Is that okay?
Go ahead.
That is a good question, and I've heard of even a few students on campus who've been doing this. But when do you think would be a good time to start studying for the FE or all those exams? Because I could see where there's a side that says, you want to wait till your junior, senior year to start hammering it, or is that something that I could start studying right now? And if so, what can I do to get there?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm the best one to answer that because I didn't really start studying for it until senior year, at least making intentional effort towards that test. Obviously, the effort you're putting into your classes, right, builds up to that knowledge. But I'm not sure. Maybe that's something Dr. Shea or one of the other professors can answer. I'm sure there's a test book you could probably get your hands on and start studying early.
They do have a textbook for that. Usually started in at least the junior year because a lot of the contents for the FE exam are junior years right there. So most of the people are taking the exam during the senior year. So they studied probably a few months before they actually take an exam.
Yeah, I think I took mine senior year as well.
Yeah. Great. Thank you, both of you so much.
Caleb, yeah, we also get all the FE questions and answers from Dr. June in statistics and in dynamics, and also in complete engineering. We get used to the training of the FE test. So when you get through the junior and senior year, you will get more info about that. Thanks for your question. Thanks, Marcus. Thanks, Dr.
Yeah, thank you.
Connor.
Hello.
How are you?
Going pretty good. How about you?
Good, good, good. So tell us more about yourself.
Yeah, so I went to CBU for mechanical engineering. I worked on moon buggy for my senior project as well with Dr. Shea. And yeah, I'm a packaging engineer at Medtronic. And I work primarily, Medtronic in Memphis is all spinal implants. So we work on spinal implants and instruments. But I work primarily on sterile and non-sterile packaging. And actually, I have an example here of kind of what some non-sterile packaging looks like. These aluminum cases and trays. Usually they have brackets in them. This one just has a finger mat, which is like a rubber thing to grab instruments with. But yeah.
Cool. So I know your educational background is mechanical engineering. When Medtronics hired you, did they ask you about any specific packaging courses or packaging certificate? I know we have a minor packaging certification in CBU. Dr. Pong is running that.
No, not really, honestly, because there's completely like there's a bunch of ASTM standards, and also just like specific to medical device regulations. So, I mean, a general knowledge of packaging is good, but a lot of it you will learn on the job, because a lot of it's specific to what you're working on, as well as like we have like internal processes and procedures.
Cool. So me as an intern in a company, now I am looking for my full-time job, and I always wonder what kind of salary range and benefits could an entry-level position expect to receive once they are looking for a full-time job. So I was expecting my offer letter from one of the companies, for example, and I get this offer letter. I don't know if I need to accept this offer with this salary range. What can you give us advice about that?
I mean, it's really gonna depend on like wherever you go, because I feel like different is it's like a big range. The best thing I can tell you for that is there's a website called PayScale. And you can go in there and you can, say I have an offer, or you can say I'm just looking or whatever. And you can actually put in like what your experience level is and all of that information, and you can see what you should ask for, or something like that. But with that, I'll also say like it's always good, like if you can always ask and negotiate. Like if you feel like you've been like lowballed or whatever, or you have like genuine research that you found that this offer is less competitive, you can always ask. Like I'm pretty sure it's like 10% or something of people ask, so they're usually expecting you to ask for something like that.
Cool.
Just don't be greedy with it. So
Yeah,
that'll get you your offer revoked, So
right.
be sensible when you do that, if you do.
Cool. Yeah, thanks. Does anyone have any question to Connor?
I think I got a chat. Let's see. What company does Medtronic ship packages? So, yeah, like most of, I'm not sure exactly what they're shipped through. I think usually we use FedEx for prototype. Or sorry, let me read the question. What company do we use to ship the packages that we make? Um, I think that generally varies, because we're worldwide. So we're shipping surgical kits to anywhere from like Belgium or Australia to places within the US. So like within the US, we have distribution centers that we will do our own like sorting. All of the here, look. So the cases and trays, they have these little RFID tags on them, and so when they go through the sorting facility, it'll scan those, and it'll pretty much tell what that kit is, and some general information where it needs to go and stuff like that. So there's a bit of sorting through Medtronic, and then it goes through distribution. But I don't really have a large hand in the actual distribution of that, because we have a whole other facility specifically for that. I mostly handle like making sure that the package, or at least the cases and trays or sterile packaging, is fit for distribution, um, and will withstand distribution, not be compromised as far as sterility, or you know the actual instruments or implants being damaged.
Cool. Any other questions?
Uh, Got another one. Anything you wish you knew before graduating? What classes in college help you in the medical device industry? Um, I don't know if there's anything I wish I knew before I graduated. I definitely would say getting internships helps a lot, because, like a lot of our other speakers have said, like the foundation is important, but it's definitely like not everything. And honestly, you're back in learning again. You have to relearn not everything, but it's a different ball game. Um, I guess like, a lot of people are talking about procrastinating. It got me thinking like, yeah, it is hard. You can't procrastinate as much now, and it's also probably more important now because I work with so many other departments that if you procrastinate and then you ask them for something that you need, they're gonna have their own workload and level of procrastination too. So you have to really be on top of that and make sure, especially when you have tight deadlines, that you make sure that you get what you need from other people as well as you make your deliverables, because it's all like one big machine. I work with quality engineers, I work with marketing, I work with legal, sterilization. So it all has to mesh together in the end. So you kind of have to be a little bit proactive as far as that goes. I think I got another question too.
Okay, go ahead.
Let's see. Oh, okay, it's just clarification. Yeah, okay, so a lot of damaged packages which disrupt sterile conditions. Yeah, so I guess I'll clarify on that too. So yeah, like we usually ship like the cases and trays ship and the thing that I showed you with a little bit more detail. There's usually like a custom built for each kit, and it has like brackets for different instruments and stuff. But also, so that goes through distribution testing, and we basically do like drop test, and you put it on a vibe table, so like it vibrates. And all that stuff. So we're kind of like trying to simulate the worst case scenario. If, a shipping company did damage the packages, would it still be okay? So that's kind of what we do all that for. And then you basically, you're using what you learned in school, writing a lab report, and we're saying, you know, here's what we found in our distribution testing. These are the problems that occurred. This is the solutions that we made, and all of that. And then you get into like, you can also rationalize this worked and this is similar. So this will also work too because it doesn't present a new worst case.
Cool. Thanks, Connor. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
So Marcus Mendez was our ex-president for ASME last year. He couldn't join us today, but he says hi to everyone. Michael Underwood, hello. Let's see if Michael here. All right, we'll get back to Michael. Kathy.
Hello.
Hey. How are you?
I'm doing fine. I'm glad it's Friday. That helps everything seem a little brighter.
Right. So, Kathy, tell us more about yourself and your position in career services and how you're helping engineering students in building their professional career. Um, Tell us about some benefits that students can get from the career services and who they should reach for.
Yeah, definitely. So, Career Services at CBU is a centralized career services office. So, that means that we are a one-stop shop for all of our students as well as our alumni. So, all majors, all class years, undergraduate, as well as graduate students. So, anything career development related would come through us. And so, that includes a wide variety of activities. I specifically tend to work directly with students and with alumni. I don't get as involved as much on the employer side of things. That's more Kurt and Amy. We're a 3-person office. And so I help students with everything from deciding what they want to major in, researching what are potential career fields that they could go into based on their major, and what types of experiences do you need to get along the way to be marketable in the field. Probably the things that our engineering students utilize me for most would be resume assistance. So putting together a strong marketing document that's going to quickly get an employer's attention and make them see what it is that you're capable of doing. And you also have to keep in mind, with you all being engineers, is that very often the first people who see your resume are not engineers themselves. So it's often the HR staff. So you have to be using language that they're expecting to see so that HR can see how you're a match for your position, because that's something that I run into all the time. And you could be saying that you're capable of the exact same ability, but if you're not using that vocabulary that HR or that their computerized applicant tracking system is looking for, you're not going to get to the hiring manager who's actually going to be an engineer and understand you. So helping students know how to phrase things on their resume to get the types of opportunities they want. I also manage our externship program, which I know Ollie has taken advantage of on several different occasions. And so that's where we have alumni or other friends of the university who volunteered to let students basically come learn more about their career field and their industry. So in a typical year, you go physically on site and you shadow for one day up to 1 week. I think some of our FedEx divisions have actually had students out there for multiple work days, but it's usually 1 day. So it's a great way to explore career fields and determine, does the reality of this field match up with your perception of it? Because that's another big distinction of sometimes it's not what we're expecting. And it's great to explore early and often so you can make educated choices about what it is that you actually want to do. It's also helping you network and make connections that could lead to jobs or internships later on down the line. Now, this year with COVID, most of our sites were not able to have students physically come on site, but they were still doing informational interviews, online meetings with students during our winter break. And actually, since we did not have a spring break this year, which is our other typical externship date, I'm actually doing a few externship sites at the end of the month. So if anyone is interested in participating in the externship program, it is open to all class years, all majors. Specifically for MEs, I have the City of Bartlett Engineering Department, FedEx Packaging, Steel Warehouse, and Top RX, so kind of like a prescription logistics company, who've said that they're either willing to let students come shadow or have those online info sessions to tell you more about the field. So I'll send that information to you so you can distribute it to the people who are here today. Relevant to an earlier discussion point, we're actually also having a negotiating salary workshop next week, so on Tuesday. So we're going to have a lady who works for a staffing organization. She previously owned her own staffing organization, so she has a lot of experience with helping people, research, okay, what's a legit rate for the role, and then actually prepare your arguments to ask for what you think that you're worth. And so that's going to be on WebEx. It's Tuesday afternoon. Let me get that time, and I'll send the specific information to you, Ollie. But it's Tuesday at 12:30. On WebEx. It will be recorded, and so if you can't make that time, it'll be up in Handshake in the resources tab later on. Handshake is our online recruitment system, so that's where all the job postings that we get go. Every job that we receive runs through there, so it's one of your first places to look for employment if you're looking for an internship or for a full-time position. We bring lots of companies to campus in a typical year. This year, everything's been virtual, but we've still had company information sessions. We've still had our career expo. In September, we have Engineering Career Day specifically. So for those of you who did not participate this year because maybe you were a freshman and you're nervous, definitely participate this coming September. That's our biggest recruiting event for you all specifically. And a lot of our engineering companies, their application deadlines are getting earlier and earlier every year. Like the really, really big, well-known employers, their applications will close like in October for their summer internships the following year. So you have to think in advance about what you might want to do. We also help with interview preparation. So if you want to practice interviewing, we'll run you through some of those questions that you might be asked, give you feedback about how you did, where you can improve. And for those of you who might be thinking about grad school, we offer assistance with that too, from the standpoint of looking for programs that might match your areas of interest, but also giving you a second set of eyes on your application materials, especially those essays they're going to want you to write, because I know sometimes engineers aren't the biggest fans of essays as well. And then we have the academic internship program. So as engineers, you're not required to do an internship course for credit, but it is an elective option for you all. And for those of you who are international students, your visa status will typically require you to get course credit for an internship. So you'd have to register for that. And so that does go through our office as well. So my director, Amy, specifically manages that. So we do a ton of stuff, basically everything career, everything that helps you make that transition from being the student to employed afterwards. We have resources that you are more than welcome to utilize.
Thanks, Kathy. Thank you so much. Does anyone have any question to Kathy or any other speaker? Feel free to ask. This is the last chance.
If you don't mind, I just want to add something to what Ms. Kathy was saying. Just the externships, I did 3 externships, was SFI, Steel Warehouse, FedEx, and Microport. And Microport is related to what I'm doing right now, which is orthopedics. So just get any opportunities that you have at CBU with career services, that just helps a lot. So just, yeah.
Luis. Yeah, I've had a lot of externships to the point that they can't fit my resume. Yeah, Kathy.
That's a good problem to have.
Yeah. Ali challenged me by asking for sites pretty far away from Memphis. So we set him up with some Detroit car manufacturers. So that was fun because I didn't know anybody either.
Yeah, right. You did a great job, Kathy. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and I'd like to emphasize just the importance of asking, like reaching out to people. LinkedIn is an awesome resource. If you don't have a LinkedIn profile, get one, and then start looking up CBU alumni and where they're working, or other people who work at companies that you're interested in. Message them. Say, hey, I'm a current student, and I think what you do is really neat. I would love to talk to you about it, right? Very often they will say yes.
Well, I'm graduating, so let's just give it. This is not a secret, but it's like something that I use all the time. When I go to LinkedIn, let's say I'm interested to go to Ford Motor Company or GM, I would go to the page on their LinkedIn and then see, oh, I am a student at CBU. I graduated from CBU. So LinkedIn will be like, okay, this guy graduated from CBU as well, and he worked at Ford. So I'll be, hey, Kathy, can you please contact this person and maybe we can do a shadow and an externship. That's how I went to a lot of companies. That's one of the technique that I used, and it works great. All right, so I think is there any other questions? I'm going to ask one more time.
I don't have a question, but I'll say one thing, reiterate what Kathy was saying is definitely don't be afraid to ask. And a lot of the postings as well, they'll put stuff in there that intentionally is to turn people away. So still apply even sometimes when you don't think that you're completely qualified, because I mean, I've gotten interviews where I didn't meet the qualifications either. So I would say still apply, still ask, because they can always say no, but they can't say yes if you don't. So definitely do that. And then one other thing is, if any of you are seniors, I think there are 2, maybe 1 left. I think they might have found someone, but there's a contractor position open at Medtronic and Packaging. It would be through a contracting agency, so you'd have to apply through that. So I can't really give you like a posting or whatever. Might be able to direct you the right way, but yeah.
Connor, thank you. If you can share the contractor position with Amy Career Services, and then she can send us an email to all the MEs at CBU.
Cool.
Yeah, cool. Thank you all. Finally, I'm going to begin by thanking you all for your stewardship to the conference, speakers, students, faculty, and staff member. Dr. Shea from engineering for advising us. Kathy, thanks for your help and for sponsoring us. Dr. June, for all your exceptional support to our engineering students. I think today's conference will help us plan what we need to do next, both here in CBU and in the workplace. At the opening statement, I said that I hope we learn new ideas from each other, which we could adopt to further improve our academic and professional skills in the engineering field. I believe that there have been many interesting and useful information shared today. I believe many good experiences have been shared and good lesson learned. Many students from last year told us about the work that have been done to make this conference beneficial. And at that information session, we demonstrated good experience. To everyone who participated today, don't forget to connect with each other on LinkedIn and contact them for any question. We've had a long and tough year, and I'm sure you guys are all looking forward to enjoy the summer safely. And I think once again, thank you for your participation. Wish you all the best and good luck to all the students on their final tests. Congratulations to me and everyone graduating this year. Thank you all.
Thank you so much for all the speakers. You guys stay safe and well. Hope to see you soon.
Thanks, Dr. Shea.
Thank you.
You too.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you all.
Thank
Have a
you.
wonderful weekend, everyone.
Bye.
That's everything? That's it?
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yes, Caleb, that's it.
Oh, wow. How about that? Awesome. I didn't know if there was anything else after, but thank you. It was great. It was awesome. Is there anything else that I can do here?
That's all, Caleb. Thanks. Thank you, man.
All right.
Thanks for joining us. Stop the